And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is August 10th, and I'm going to tell you about the weather and a little update on that holy fire in just a moment. On our show today, Maggie Blackwells-Hill from United. She is going to talk about landscape primarily, kind of picking up where we left off her last conversation when she was on about the use of pesticides and different alternatives that they are looking at right now. Dan Oweiler is here today from Sterling Financial Advisors, and his topic is going to be reverse mortgages, although that doesn't pertain to a lot of the village here, but he thought he'd talk about what they are and how they work. And also, we got a couple guests from the Alzheimer's OC Club, and then if we have time, we'll take you out to Crystal Cove. One meeting today, and that is THIRD's 2019 business plan meeting. That will be in the boardroom at 9:30. So if you'd like to tune in for that, we of course televise it. And if you're in Third, you're certainly welcome to go down there if you're watching us in the morning. Now let's get to the weather. And today there is still a slight possibility of rain in Orange County. It's a 10%. There was certainly rain throughout Southern California yesterday. In fact, there were flash flood warnings up in the Big Bear area. And there was also, if you happen to go on the Doppler yesterday afternoon, they showed rain late afternoon over where the Holy Fire is, up around Santiago Peak. Really what that was the fire creating its own weather, and it did rain a little bit, but that was all due to the fire. In fact, when I got home, I heard some thunder, and basically that fire system caused those clouds, which you couldn't really see because they were all mixed in with the smoke, and hence they had a little bit of rain and also thunder and lightning strikes. Now, today again, a slight chance, it's still in the forecast on like 2 out of the 4 forecasts say a little bit of rain. However, like I said, there was certainly rain in Southern California yesterday. Going forward, we're finally going to see those temperatures drop a little bit and the fog come back in over the next several days, so that is certainly good news. Let's look around the state this weekend, and the best thing that I can tell you is smoking conditions around much of the state, obviously because of the numerous fires going on, and Yosemite still remains closed due to the fires and smoke up there. Arrowhead and those areas are expecting thunderstorms today and tomorrow, as they did yesterday. Up in the Bay Area, about 72, the Central Coast, 81, 89 and humid down in San Diego this weekend, and Palm Springs about 108. So, you know, keep that in mind wherever you go this weekend. And again, if you happen to be, had plans for some reason, Yosemite, I don't know how long that's going to remain closed. It's been about a week now, and that's all the roads going in, obviously the valley or something like that. So if you had plans going up there, keep mindful of that and checking on that as well. I want to show you right here, this is up on top of Santiago Peak. There are several cameras up there, and the website, you can see, I'll tell you about that later, but HPWREN, and what that is, that's done by UC San Diego, and also a group of group of ham operators and Wi-Fi operators and all that. There's several cameras up there, and you can actually go to that site and look at the cameras. I think there's about 4. There's also a live video feed, and last night we were watching that live video feed, and at our house it looked like a volcano. From a lot of views, if you looked out sort of Santiago Peak, the flames were starting to come over. And we went to the live video feed up there. We were watching the strike crews up there clearing brush and working on that. So you can go to these different areas and see these cameras, and you know, it gives a really great perspective where, you know, whenever you go up there or whenever you look out, even throughout the year. But right now, you really get a good perspective of things. So you know, these fires continue, and they are doubling in size every day. They're up to over 18,000 acres this morning, unfortunately. Still only 5% contained, about 1,200 firefighters on the scene yesterday. they had almost 20, I think they had 19 airships up there in the form of helicopters, air tankers, and several other smaller planes as well, but still only 5% contained. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
I'm coming for you, Cancer. With California Protons, I now have the technology and expertise to fight with unmatched precision. I'll zero in and wear you down with radiation, millimeter by millimeter. You won't weaken me. I'll spare my tissues and protect myself against future threats. Cancer, you're history. I'm looking to the future.
Summer is here. Diane's Hallmark has everything you need to make summer cool. From clothing to jewelry to unique one-of-a-kind gifts, Diane's Hallmark is the place to go. Diane's also has a large religious section as well. Come in today to see it all. Diane's Hallmark is located in the Walmart Shopping Center next to Hobby Lobby.
Your body is made for work, play, and adventure. All the things that make life amazing. But when pain gets in the way, turn to Hoag Orthopedic Institute to get you back to doing the things you love. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we're experts at getting you out of pain and back to golf, running, or yoga. Whatever makes you, you.
Dental health is important, and it can be tough to find the best fit for your needs. Flora Stenger General and Specialty Dental Practice covers most of my dental needs in one location. Their on-staff specialists provide seamless services and communication between me, my doctors, and my insurance company. Located right down the road from Laguna Woods, our bus service stops right in front of their building. For the first time, I'm getting the dental care I need with the treatment I deserve. And my dental health has never been better. Call and book your first appointment today. I'm glad I did.
And with me right now from United is Maggie Blackwell. Welcome back, and today we're going to kind of continue the topic of last time, which was within landscape and the use of herbicides, pesticides, right?
Right. We talked about herbicides and what we used, and we gave Bruce some direction of what we wanted him to do, and the committee decided to look into not using Roundup in any glyphosate product. Bruce met with the General Services Director. I mean, he is the General Service Director. He met with non-toxic Irvine and went through a whole list of options for us, and they helped him to understand what could be used in the village and what could not be used here, or what would be useless. We had tried Avenger, staff tried Avenger for 30 days, a month or so ago, and it was totally ineffective, so that one is off the choice list. And our herbicides are controlled by the Environmental Protection Agency, the Department of Pesticide Regulation, and the Organic Materials Review Institute, which is the new one, which is the organic one. All of the organic ones, and we have chosen several, 5 or 6 here, which I will read you.
Okay.
All of them only work on the leaves.
Right.
They do not get down into the root system. So this will turn out to be the trick, but we'll see. We're using a new one called Suppress. It's sprayed. These are all sprayed. Then there's Final San O. Then there's Eco Blend and Weed Farm and Weed Zap. One of them is made from clove and cinnamon. Another one is vinegar. Other ones are caprylic acid, and one is soybeans. So they have all been tried, and people have found them useful. There are two enablers to assist this. They call them adjuvants. They help or aid the products to be more effective. And we're going to try those two. Those are BioLink and OroBoost. Now the idea is staff will be using those products in 3 or 4 cul-de-sacs, and we won't tell you which ones, for 100 days.
Okay.
And they're going to chart everything to see how much we need to apply to keep the weeds down, and how much effort, manpower it takes to handle the weeds that do sprout up, because they will continually sprout up. And the question is, how frequently can we keep applying this and handle it, or do we have to go out there with manual weeding or weed whackers or something like that? It's 100 days. Now for that, we ask that all the residents, if you have a yellow stake area, or if you have your own area planted near your place, please don't use any herbicides during this time. Don't use Roundup. Some people do use Roundup. We ask you not to use any herbicides at this time. And let's keep the test accurate and true. And so that is our plan for 100 days. Now, if it really appears after a month and a half that this is absolutely not going to work, it's just too far too labor intensive for us, then we'll just publish the results and let them know that indeed we tried, but we can't. But we will try, because other cities and towns are trying.
Right.
And with the enablers, that may help some.
Okay, very good.
So the main product in Roundup is glyphosate.
Right.
And the International Agency for Research on Cancer calls glyphosate probably carcinogenic. But the good news is, in a 2014 study, they found that families who had been eating or consumed or exposed to glyphosate had a 90% reduction of glyphosate in their system after only 1 week of eating organic foods.
Huh, interesting.
So that lets you know how widespread it is on the non-organic foods.
You wanted me to bring up this too.
Yes,
and
this is also glyphosate.
Yeah.
Because corn syrup is made from genetically altered material.
Right.
Okay. And in order to get a bigger bang for their buck and make it easier to grow, they use glyphosate as their herbicide.
Yes, they do.
And so high fructose corn syrup is a very high source of glyphosate. In fact, if you look these two words up together, you'll see all kinds of studies and things that relate those two. So while we are trying to cut down your exposure of a little herbicide that is spot sprays, we don't spread it all over the grass and all over like this. We spot spray it here and there. You are still ingesting it in your high fructose corn syrup, which is all the packaged foods and so on. But that's up to you. We will do what we can to see if we can make a village a safe environment. And what you do at home and what you choose to buy is what will really also affect you. So there's a trade-off there. Somebody said that glyphosate or Roundup is Agent Orange. That is absolutely false. They read an article, they read the title of an article, and they misread the title of the article. It said, "Is glyphosate the new Agent Orange?" Well, it is not. Dioxin is a poison that is in Agent Orange, which caused numerous horrible health problems, leukemia, lymphoma, damage to genes, cancers, all of that stuff. Roundup has none of that. Roundup has glyphosate, which is found to be, what is it? They said it is probably carcinogenic, but then so is high fructose corn syrup, probably carcinogenic. It is the same herbicide in there that we have everywhere. So it is not dioxin, it is not Agent Orange. That is not true. We do have also, we found out some information about, there are dogs that are having problems with their paws, and they lick their tummies because they have a rash or sensitivity, and some of them get sick now and then. Well, ASPCA recommends keeping your pets away from pepper trees and pepper tree berries, just in case. It is not on the list for poisonous trees or deadly to dogs, but it can make some doggies, particularly those low to the ground or who rustle around in it a lot, it can make them sick. The symptoms occur, you feel sick, you feel unwell. This doggy ingests part of it, or not just the berries. And if he lies around or he gets sick and he doesn't get better in a few hours, call your vet. But we have 12,004 pepper trees in our village. And we're sorry, but they've been here like 40 or 50 years. We are probably not going to tear them all down. But we do urge you now, because of this information, to keep your pets, your doggies, away from pepper trees. That is, if he's shown any reaction. If he shows no reaction, he's not allergic, he'll be fine. But for this 100-day period, so while we're doing this, I suggest that the dog owners give a try to see if it really is the herbicide or if it is maybe the pepper tree that is causing the difficulty for their pet. So
all right, good information.
Kind of a bargain for both. Everyone agrees that we should not have herbicides. We don't want toxic herbicides around. But when you weigh it with the fact of how many people consume corn syrup, it's a little hard to say. But it is not a good substance. We don't want it around. And so United's going to see if we can do without it.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. And we appreciate you coming on. And the budget meetings, you had yours yesterday with United. A third is today, by the way, if you're watching us in the morning. And then, of course, the next meetings in September are the ones that you formally adopt the budget.
Right. We had a good go around with our budget yesterday, and it's an ongoing process.
It is. Good to see you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye. We'll be right back.
I see the first sunlight, and I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
My father was a quiet man, and honesty was premier. Prior to his passing, it was emotional. The folks at O'Connor made it easier. They just went over and above and helped me get through this. If you have to go through this process, stop by O'Connor. You will not be disappointed.
At O'Connor Mortuary, our commitment is to serve our community with care and compassion.
Remember when life was simpler? When things didn't move quite so fast, and the world didn't seem so complex? Remember that? We do. And as the world around us has continued to speed up, becoming more complicated and still a bit uncertain, we have managed to keep things simple, providing sound, easy to understand financial advice and customized roadmaps for the road ahead, from tax reduction strategies and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, backed by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. We can be your single point of contact, a single call, a voice you recognize well, and a partner who can be by your side for the entire journey. We can't stop the world around us, but we can help ensure you're prepared for what's to come. To schedule a no-obligation meeting, simply contact us today.
Welcome back. With us right now from Sterling Financial Advisors is, of course, our friend Dan Oweiler, who is the president, and we are going to talk about something, reverse mortgages.
Well, I think we've talked a little bit in the past. I remember having some people on, but I've had a few people come in asking me about that, and I thought it might be a good refresher course to talk about. I know here in the community, sometimes there's a little bit of hurdles because of the co-ops.
Yeah, the co-ops cannot at all.
You know, and so reverse mortgages are a little bit tough in that regard. But I've had others that live here in where they've owned the condo and do that. So.
Let me ask you something though. It's interesting that 10 years ago, 8-10 years ago, you were hearing a lot about these advertisements, all kinds of stuff.
All the
you don't hear
actors
much
doing the
that's right
yes Robert Wagner and Henry Winkler, you know,
so you don't hear much about these much
well I think
anymore.
It's a wave, you know. I mean, I think if one company starts to advertise, a lot of people follow. It's kind of like insurance companies today on the TV. State Farm, Farmers, you know, Geico and Progressive, they all seem to be competing with each other for consumers' attention. You know, so I think that they went through that a while back with reverse mortgages.
So in a nutshell, what are reverse mortgages?
Well, people sometimes have a negative opinion. Oh, I don't want any part of that. And in the right situation, it can play a very good tool for retirement planning. I actually have 4 or 5 clients that we've actually done reverse mortgages, and the purpose behind that is people may not have a lot of assets, investable assets, and they might need a little bit more income. And so a reverse mortgage is nothing more than taking out a mortgage on your home, just like you and I would do. Okay. The difference is rather than paying them every month, it accumulates on your property. So so it compounds the mortgage. So if at the end of you take out a mortgage for $200,000 or $300,000, at the end of the first year, it might be $210,000 that you owe them because you haven't made any payments on that. But you get the $200,000 that you can invest, or they've made payments to you instead. And so the purpose of it isn't just to get a mortgage, it's to solve an income need that people might have because they have a lot of equity in their home without having much income coming in. And so in that particular situation, it can work well. Now you can't, there's some restrictions, you know, insurance or mortgage companies aren't going to loan you 80% of your value. Like they do a traditional mortgage. And the reason for that is they want to make sure that there's enough equity still in there, so as the mortgage continues to compound, that they're not going to get stuck with a home that's worth less than the mortgage.
So I guess one of the biggest questions people have is what happens on the back end of that.
Yeah, a lot of
whether or not you
misinformation is that is the mortgage company is going to take the house,
right?
And that's not the case. You know, the people still own the property; they're still on title. They can still leave that to their children or their heirs. If they can stay, the people that take out the mortgage can stay in it for their lifetime. They can't kick them out no matter what happens to the property, as long as they're keeping up their property taxes and things along that line. Once they pass away, the children have the option of paying off the mortgage, selling the property, or doing whatever they want to do with that. So it's not much different than inheriting a property with a current mortgage on it. It's just that it's a reverse mortgage and it's gone up in value because they haven't been making any payments along the way.
And I guess the biggest difference is versus taking out a second mortgage, the traditional way is you're not making
You don't
payments.
have to make payments. You know, some of the things in retirement is I'm trying to increase my income, not reduce that. Sometimes they'll take a traditional mortgage, invest the difference, and hopefully make up the payments or more than that. A reverse mortgage, you don't have to make payments and you can take that money and have additional income coming in. Now there are limitations. You know, normally you can have maybe 50-60% of your equity as a reverse mortgage. And I've had clients where they've been making payments and they've got another $200,000 left on their mortgage, but they want to reduce their overhead. So they'll do a reverse mortgage, pay off their existing mortgage, and that mortgage payment now reduces their monthly need each month. So if, say, I have a home that's worth $500,000 and I still owe $200,000 and I'm tired of making the payments, I can do a reverse mortgage, pay off my existing mortgage, and then I eliminate that monthly payment that I have to make.
What about an age restriction? Because there is one, am I right?
There is, yeah. You have to be at least 62.
For both, let's say you're...
No, just one of them. They've changed that. It used to be 62, so they've changed that a little bit. So one of them can be 62 if you've got a husband or a wife that's 62 and a spouse that's 58. The 62-year-old can qualify for that. And they just have to recognize that the 58-year-old can still stay in that property if something were to happen to the person who is older. So the other thing that's changed is that they've come out with jumbo reverse mortgages. The traditional reverse mortgage, I think it's about $680,000 home value. That is the maximum they'll loan on. But there's another niche that they've come out with jumbo reverse mortgages, and we had one client that doesn't have a spouse, doesn't have any children. She says, why do I have all this equity in my home? She took out $1 million reverse mortgage on her home so she could enjoy that money doing traveling or doing whatever she wants to do that helps her income along the way. She doesn't care how much of the excuse me, how much of the equity is left over because she has no heirs. So she's just enjoying it. It's kind of like the bumper sticker, I'm spending my kid's inheritance. You know, she's spending the inheritance to whoever it was go to.
So let me ask you this, being you know, your line of work, you're the first one to say, okay, let's look at the downside of this particular investment or whatever it might be. So let's look at the downside.
The downside is they're a little bit pricey to get into. The upfront costs are a little bit pricey. You're probably looking at somewhere between, I'm going to say, $10,000 to $12,000 to get into that. So the cost going in is a little bit pricey.
Does that mean it's out of pocket, or they work that into the...
No, they'll roll that into the... You don't have to have that out of pocket. But
and for them, this is their sort of nest egg. This is like, well, at least we got this for this time being.
Right. And so, you know, it's not something that, like a home equity line where you want to get it just in case you need it. Because the price getting into that is too expensive.
Right.
Okay. So the other thing is you do have to keep up all of your property taxes just like you do now.
Yeah.
And the other downside is if you start with $200,000, eventually every year that's going to keep going up and up and up because you haven't made any payments on that. Now, to offset that, the marketing people will say, well, your house will keep going up and up and up.
Right.
Well, yes and no. We saw how property values can go up and down.
Yeah.
And that's why they'll only loan 50% of your equity.
Now, what happens, let's say, you know, you get that and 15, 20 years from now, you know, whatever, something happens, you want to move. You want to go somewhere else in the country. You can move.
Sell your house, pay off your mortgage, whatever it is, and move.
Okay, what happens though if the price of the home, let's say for some reason it does tank, it does go down, and you still owe this much money to them? Do you have to come up with that, or they just go, well, that was our investment, that was our risk?
Yeah, that they can never come back and ask you for additional funds. Okay. So let's assume that the house was worth $500,000 and they were in it for 20 years and the equity now is over or under what the mortgage is. And they leave it to their children. They can't come after the children for additional funds, okay? Likewise, they can't come after you for additional funds if you end up moving out of the house or whatever that is. Okay. Okay.
And
so,
they would basically take over that property and do what they want.
That's why you hear the stories, they took over the property, and that's because, you know, the mortgage went up and the house went down. Right. Okay. It's not that people are losing that. You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I bought a house for $600,000, had a $500,000 mortgage, and the property value now is $400,000, but my mortgage, that's when people walk away.
Yeah.
You know, why should I keep paying on a property that is not worth as much as, you know, so.
And in reality, you might have already gotten that $200,000 10 years before,
or payments along the way, or whatever
however
it is.
you work that out.
It is a niche. Not everybody wants to do that, but it's a good financial planning tool for people that maybe need a little bit of extra money along the way. Rather than taking a lump sum of money, they'll actually pay you a monthly payment if you want.
Yeah.
So if you qualify, if your house is paid for and you get a $300,000 reverse mortgage, rather than taking that as a lump sum, you might just say, I need an extra $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a line of credit that you have.
Right.
And so at the end of the first year, you only have a $12,000 mortgage versus, you know,
and yet you can still leave that to your heirs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever the condition is, they can move in.
Again, I have probably 4 or 5 clients that have that. Yeah. And it's been a good fit for them. Yeah. Okay. Whether or not they wanted to pay off their mortgage or get additional income. We want to make sure that it's the right fit. And the government actually requires them to go through a class to make sure they're educated and are understanding that.
All right. Very good. Well, interesting topic. And
it doesn't fit everybody,
but it's another vehicle out there.
It's another tool.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much. And folks, again, right up there on the screen, sterlingfa.com, 949-859-8900. Always good to have you on. And remember, Dan is there for you. If you just want to go and talk to him and
have a checkup,
you
know,
he's there.
Happy to help.
All right. Good to see you,
sir.
Good
to see you.
Take care.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cart Mart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Cart here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cart Mart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
Good morning. Joel Walker, your golf professional here at Laguna Woods Village. Beautiful morning today. It's Free Tip Thursday. So anyway, this morning what I wanted to talk to you about in your golf swing, no matter how long you've been playing, if you're just starting the game, if you've been playing for a few months, a few years, your whole life, right? The best thing you can do and to think about in your golf swing is, how do they work? Well, good golf swings work from the ground up, not necessarily up here. Our arms and our hands, the club, the shoulders, right? All needs to work in sync, and we want to hit nice, consistent shots. We want to have balance. Balance from the ground up. B-A-L-A-N-C-E. That's the word of the day, balance. All right, so as we set up to the ball, we're going to hit our shots. We feel that nice coil in our shoulders, right? We're reaching back, we're engaging our hips a little bit. We want to stay steady and we want to stay balanced, because none of this great stuff up here that you're constantly working on is going to work very well or consistently if we're off balance. If I'm dangling around here, too much on my toes, right? The club gets thrown off and the shots just get inconsistent, right? So as we do take our backswing, right, we're going to turn those shoulders, engage our hips a little bit, and we want to be solid, nice and balanced on our right foot, kind of on the center instep here. A hurricane might blow me over, but a 30-mile-an-hour wind won't. I know that. So I'm right here and solid, steady at the top of our backswing. Now the same thing can be said as we follow through to the finish, right? I want to be balanced over here too. Got a whole foot and a whole nice leg to use to steady myself as I finish the swing. Steady. Balance. What's the word of the day? Balance. That's right. Okay, so as I'm here, right, I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right part of town. Now if I'm creating that swing and taking into the action, and now I'm out on my toes, boy, you see a lot of people doing that, right? Falling off balance. As all that energy's generating out here to our toes. Want that. Same thing be said if I'm rolling out here onto my heel. Not good, right? So use your whole leg, use your whole foot, use that center of that foot. It's there, it's like a nice post. Boom, balanced. B-A-L-A-N-C-E, balance, that's the word of the day. Enjoy yourselves, let's keep our golf course in good shape, and hope to see you guys around. Thank you. I wanted to let you in, it's not really a secret, bit of a limited space though, but I've been offering a no-cost boot camp where we do some stretching in the morning, we do some golf fundamentals, some mental stuff of what's going on, in the mind while we're swinging the golf club and playing the golf course. So if you want to join me for that, I'd be glad to have you. I'd be most excited about meeting everyone who haven't met yet. If you want to come out, the sign-ups, you can call me. My direct line is 268-2024. To sign up. They're 3-week periods and space is limited, but we can get you, in the system and ready to roll on those 3-week boot camps. A lot of stretching, some minor strength training, and just what is important in swinging the club, maybe expanding our range of motion a little bit. Again, working on balance, which is very key in the swing, and most of all, having fun. We can talk world politics too, if you'd like, philosophy. I do have a degree in philosophy. Anyway, please join me. And also, I've got another thing going on that's quite exciting. People have taken great advantage of and improving is a free tip Thursday. Come out in the morning at the driving range in our lower teaching area, and I'm there for about an hour or so. Come up for a few minutes. We'll discuss a couple of things you might have questions about regarding your golf swing. I'll take a look at you, do a swing check. A couple of free tips. Free is good. If it's free, I'll take 3. So anyway, come and see me. And again, if I haven't met you, I'll be really looking forward to meeting you. And greetings and good golfing. Thank you.
Why do Subaru Forester owners always seem so happy? Because they've chosen the industry leader. Subaru Forester holds its value better than any other vehicle in its class, according to ALG. Better than CR-V, better than RAV4, better than Rogue. An adventure that starts with a Subaru Forester will always leave you smiling.
Come in to Irvine Subaru to celebrate the Subaru A Lot to Love event and get complimentary maintenance included on all new Subarus.
Welcome back. With me right now from the Alzheimer's Orange County, the Alzheimer's OC Club here in Laguna Woods Village. We have Sunshine Ludi, and she has brought along a guest. Actually, I would say that just the opposite, because Allison is here from the Alzheimer's Orange County. You really kind of brought along the guest in a sense, right?
No, Allison is a speaker
Yes.
for the Alzheimer's Club.
Yes.
And she has her own business, which is Cognitive Care Solutions.
Okay. What we're talking about really is the meeting coming up, and you're going to be the speaker there.
That's correct.
So yeah, you're kind of like, you brought each other. Let's put it that way.
We're together. But I will tell you what happens at the beginning of every single meeting.
What's that?
Well, David does a song and I do a song. So
Oh,
we
okay.
start it with music.
All right, very good. That's always good. And this one coming up, this topic, and this is, by the way, Monday, August 13th. Usually there's some sort of a topic that and different things to go along with this. This is memory and reasoning and a little bit of everything that's for this meeting. It's almost more of a catch-all in a sense. The things that deal with Alzheimer's and how you folks can help. And so tell me about some of the topics you're going to present on Monday.
Well, Ken, the class focuses on brain health and what we can do to maintain our brain health. In Orange County alone, there's 84,000 people who have Alzheimer's disease. And spreading the word, and Sunshine allows me to come and speak into her club meeting. And it's so important to spread the word that there are things that we can do to help stave off the disease process. And those are the kind of things that we focus in on the group. Half of the group time is spent lecture and disseminating information about what we can do to maintain brain health. And the other part of the class is actually experiential, and we focus in on doing brain exercises.
Okay. And you're going to do some of the brain exercises that day?
Yes.
Or just, okay. What are some of the things that you'll be doing?
Well, the focus is that we want to exercise different parts of our brain. The research states that if we modify different risk factors that are related to dementia, that we can actually stave off the disease process about 2 to 5 years.
Okay.
And so we exercise, we do exercises for our short-term memory, our long-term memory, visual spatial, because that helps with balance and depth perception. We exercise attention and logic and reasoning.
Okay.
So she passes out sheets of paper and
Yeah.
pencils, and we each get to exercise our brain.
Okay. What are you having the folks do while they're sitting down watching? Are you asking like math questions, or what type of things are they doing in the seats while you're doing that? Some of the things that you do.
Well, the worksheets are geared, like I said, for exercising different parts of the brain.
Right.
So it's answering questions. Some of the worksheets have to do with promoting better language skills, visual spatial.
Okay. All right. And a lot of the things that I know that you've talked about and others have talked about as well is really just maintaining that activity for your brain, whatever it might be. But there's all kinds of things that people can do on their own, and certainly today with a lot of different apps that are available, people can download those for free, and there's many different tools out there that people can utilize.
That's correct. The thing that you want to remember, though, is that the idea with brain exercises is that you want to increase the brain cell development and new neural pathways. And in order to do that, you have to have a challenge. The worksheets and the exercises need to be challenging and a variety. So for folks who only do, let's say, crossword puzzles or only play Sudoku, they're exercising one part of the brain. But we want to exercise all the different parts of our brain.
Right.
So we want to do worksheets that can help with short-term memory, long-term memory, and so on and so forth.
All right, very good. Now, as far as the meeting goes, I usually do this once a month. Once in a while, there might be a change.
Second Monday of every month.
And this one's again coming up this Monday, August 13th. and it will be over at Clubhouse 3 in room 2. I should say Performing Arts Center, so you got to change that. But at 10 o'clock in the morning till noon. And people that are there to participate but learn new things. And also you're giving them sort of tools that they can take home with, right, in a sense. Yeah, absolutely. Which is very good. And again, Sunshine does this with the Alzheimer's Orange County every month. Right. And usually each month there's like a primary topic that you kind of do.
We have done a lot of meetings focusing on the exercising the brain. And it's a very popular topic. I have people calling me at least once a week saying, you know, when is that meeting again? It's because they want to be a part of being able to get that brain working. Yeah, yeah, so.
Very good. And as I said, you know, nowadays a lot of tools are out there for people who have devices that they can use, and there's all kinds of different things. Even there are certain apps that you can download that have many different, like what you're talking about. It's not just one thing, it's many different things that come into play from doing on the apps. There might be puzzles, there might be drawing, there, you know, might say, you know, draw this or try and do this, or there's even a few regular, which you would call just games out there that people can play that you really got to think while you're doing it, and it's kind of fun. And even for me, sometimes I'm like, you know, that's too hard. But it's just because I might be a little lazy doing it. But a lot of tools out there today.
Yes. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is that we do have Adapt to It as the sponsor, and they provide light refreshments for the people that are there. So.
All right. All right, very good. So again, Monday at the Performing Arts Center, 10 a.m. to about noon. Everyone is welcome to go there. You don't need to sign up first. I know RSVP is preferred, but it's not required. And if you'd like to go, it's going to be great. If you happen to miss this one, every month Sunshine does this program with different guest speakers and different topics, so check that out as well. Good to see both of you.
Thank you.
Take care, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Towers. As president of our association, I'd like to tell you about life here. Membership includes nightly open menu dinners, weekly housekeeping, on-call maintenance, and a range of on-site activities. Join our community of active, independent seniors. It's elevated living in a hotel-style environment. Visit us at towers@lagunawoodsvillage.com.
If you asked me what I wanted to be when I was a child, I would have told you a princess or an astronaut, maybe even a chef. But things change. I may not have become a princess, but I found someone who treated me like one. I may not have become an astronaut, but I still got to see the world. I may not have become a chef, but you would never leave my house hungry. The Emeritus Institute has kept my love of learning alive. Every day is a new adventure, and the Emeritus classes have made it possible to keep living out my dreams. Sign up today and begin your life's next adventure.
And our movie today is called Paul, Apostle of Christ. This came out earlier this year, and it tells the story of two men. Luke, as a friend and physician, risks his own life as he ventures into the capital city of Rome to visit Paul, who is held captive in Nero's darkest, bleakest prison cell. Nero is determined to rid Rome of Christians and does not flinch from executing them in the grisliest ways possible. Before Paul's death sentence can be enacted, though, Luke resolves to write another book, one that details the beginnings of the way and the birth of what will become known as the church. This movie is going to be shown at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. And as I said, it came out earlier this year and runs 108 minutes, rated PG-13. Now, our movie on Monday is a Woody Allen movie called Wonder Wheel that came out late last year. And not a real long movie, just over 100 minutes or so. And it tells the story of four characters whose lives intertwine amid the hustle and bustle of Coney Island back in the 1950s. Ginny, a volatile former actress, now working as a waitress at a clam house. Humpty, who is Ginny's rough-hewn carousel operator. And Mickey, a handsome young lifeguard who's played by Justin Timberlake. Also, Juno Temple is in this, and Kate Winslet. And also, as you just saw there, Jim Belushi is in this as well. So quite a cast. And again, it takes place in the 1950s around Coney Island. And really, you know, if you know Woody Allen's movies, they're very story-driven, not a whole lot of action, so to speak, but really each character has a lot of background to them and really kind of delves into that. There's a couple characters, couple actors who are kind of playing the same role they did years ago back in the Sopranos, and here they are playing a similar role. Wonder Wheel will be coming up on Monday at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and several other movies coming up this month. On Fridays, we have Sherlock Gnomes, which is animated about the little trolls, those little garden gnomes. A classic, Elvis Presley's first musical and first movie, Jailhouse Rock, and then a remake of the movie Overboard. This is a new version of this that stars Eva Longoria and Anna Faris. And then on Mondays, our movies that are coming up after Wonder Wheel will be Last Flag Flying, which is actually it's billed as a comedy war drama. So it's really sort of a quirky movie, but also with a very dramatic feel, because it's about a man who is about to bury his son, and he was a young Marine killed in the Iraq War. Why they put this in as a comedy, I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure about that. And then an action movie, of course, if you are fans of the Marvel Universe, Avengers Infinity War, their most recent movie, and we'll bring this to you on August 27th. So lots of good movies coming your way, and tune in for those. And if you ever have a suggestion of a movie, let us know. We'll see if we can get it for you. Some we can, some we can't. Hey, I talked to you earlier about the cameras that are top Santiago Peak. Here's a couple websites that you can go to. The first one there, the HTTP one, hpren.ucsd.edu cameras. And from there are several cameras up there that you can click on there, and they update so you can watch that. Also, that some website you can link to the live stream, or you can go to YouTube and look up HPWREN live stream, and then you can put really live stream Holy Fire. You don't have to put those numbers right after it. That was the most recent one that I looked at. And from there, you can see those cameras streaming throughout the day. And we were looking at them last night when, of course, the fire was quite literally at the top of the peaks once again. Now, on the live stream, especially in the evening, by the way, this is a photo from our house last night from the balcony. And I mean, it looked like a volcano. It really did, coming up over there. And then another photo here. This is taken off the live stream last night. We're watching the firefighters on the top up there. They had a strike crew that were up there. You could watch them up there clearing the brush and doing what they needed to do. So we could end up seeing that again tonight, just seeing that this fire is now over 18,000 acres. So you can check that out. I do want to tell you that if you look at the live stream, particularly in the evening, you can turn on or off the live chat. If you turn on the live chat, it's really kind of unregulated. A lot of people are saying all kinds of different things. So don't let that bother you. Get some good information in there, but then a lot of them are, as they said, talking like sailors on there as well. But it's a good tool to see how things are going. Weather-wise, still a chance of a little bit of rain coming into the area today. There is thunderstorms due to come back up to the mountains, as there was yesterday up in Big Bear and Arrowhead. And then moving forward, we'll start to see a little bit more of that marine layer coming in, which is good, and a little bit cooler weather, which is good as well. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. The state this weekend, many areas have smoking conditions due to the fires, as you're well aware of. Yosemite, as I said, for those who maybe had plans going up there this month, as of right now, it's been closed for several days due to the fire up there, and it still remains closed. That's all the roads going into Yosemite, really the valley area. I think if you go way north of Tioga Pass and all, that may still be open, but check that out. All right, we will see you Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.